Greetings, everyone. My name is Charles Kowalski, not safe for work presidential candidate, campaigning for more direct democracy. And over the weekend, I took a little sort of relaxation time going to PAX Unplugged because I am a gamer. I love games. I got to try out. First, I'll go off on my little tangent here. I got to try out Glen More 2, which I thought was meh. I managed to get almost every single castle and really just hammered everybody else in the game. Also tried out Colors of Paris, which I thought was an okay game. Tried out Runestones, which I backed on Kickstarter, and now I'm not so sure I'm going to keep the game, and I haven't opened my copy yet. And I tried out one other game that I liked, but I didn't, I can't remember the name of it. Something with marbles, and it's kind of like Lorenzo, but also like a little bit of Splendor mixed in. But yeah, but I had a good time. I only went for Friday because I don't have a whole lot of money, and I'm not going to drive back and forth to Philly for every day for an entire weekend, especially fighting traffic, getting parking, and all that shit. But enough on the tangent. The reason why I'm making this video is because one of the first things I noticed when I walked into PAX was a person with a name badge on his shirt, or a name tag, sticker, whatever the fuck on his shirt, had his name, and under his name had he/him. And I could only think, oh fucking no. I just hope that I don't have to deal with any of this shit here. Luckily I didn't. I mean, one thing I like about board gaming, you know, in the groups that I game with, there's a nice mix of people from different backgrounds. We all get along, even though that we don't all don't see everything the same way. And board gaming really helps to undo the divisions that that are impressed upon us by our political leaders and others. And another division that is trying to be pressed upon us is through this whole gender thing. And the fact that you have people saying that, oh, video games and board games are male dominated, therefore it's bad because any one gender is the majority, or any one demographic is the majority. It's stupid. The ultimate design is not to bring people together, but really to separate people. Because the best way to get people to hate each other is to force them to be with each other. That's why MOBAs have such toxic communities, because you go on a team with a bunch of random people that you know nothing about, and they don't all play the way that you do, or a way that you're familiar with, or the way that you can adequately respond to, so you get pissed off, and you can't take it out on the game, but who can you take it out on? The people that are there. And this is just a natural thing that happens. So that same psychology is being pressed on industries like the game industry and others, not to bring people together, but to create divisions by trying to force people to come together in a certain, not unnatural way, disregarding who people are and counting them as only what they are. And one thing I wanted to talk about too is the whole idea of misgendering, because that's increasingly become a crime in places. I believe it's a crime now in Canada, certain places in Canada, and I'm not sure if there's any place in America yet, but it wouldn't surprise me. So, sex and gender. Okay, we want to go by these definitions, and we'll go by these definitions. Sex is your biology. It is the genome that you were born with. It is a genome that makes you. You are either XX or XY. That's how you were born. That's how the human body functions. Gender. Social construct, okay, I can buy that, but you defeat yourself in identifying it as a social construct. Because in order for something to be a social construct, or if something is a social construct, then that means that in order for somebody to know your gender, they have to know you personally. And it's not a physical appearance. It has nothing to do with your physical appearance. Regardless of whatever markers you may wear, anybody else can wear those markers because we all have free choice. So the idea of misgendering somebody simply by a person who knows jack shit about you and calling you a gender that you don't like is completely fucking stupid. And it's a self-defeating argument. You cannot, it is impossible to identify an aspect of somebody that is a social construct. Sex is a physical construct. Now you can say that somebody didn't call you the right sex, but identifying somebody by their sex is an assessment of their sex by their expressed phenotypes. And that has nothing to do with gender. So, if somebody calls you him, her, whatever, they're probably referring, and they don't know anything about you, they're probably referring to you by your sex. Get over it. You may not be born the way you don't want to be, or you may not be born the way you want to look. There may be aspects about you that nature wasn't so kind on. Tough fucking titties. This is life. Deal with it. It doesn't revolve around you. So, if somebody calls you something that you don't like based on your appearance, I mean, I get called ugly. I get called all kinds of things. Personally, I like getting called ugly because being ugly is a wonderful thing. It keeps all the stupids away. But getting called something you don't like, too bad. Now, misgendering, if it's somebody that knows you intimately, is well familiar with you, and is familiar enough with you to know your gender, okay, then you can say it's misgendering. But even then, tough fucking titties. You cannot limit someone else's free speech just because you don't like what they have to say. And if somebody calls you an asshole, piece of shit, whatever, are you going to send them to jail too? What if somebody says, oh, you're a really nice person? Are you going to send them to jail? What if they're being sarcastic? Now are you going to send them to jail? Personally, I don't like it when people compliment me. If somebody compliments me, it generally means that they're either full of shit or they want something. And I take offense to that. So, should those people go to jail? So, the crime of misgendering somebody is not a crime. It has no legal basis. And that is really all I have to fucking say on that. Congratulations. You are now educated on how to be a little less stupid in your dealings with people. The world doesn't revolve around you. Fuck off.